Did you see that movie?
Did you see that wall explode?
Did you see that truck explode?
Did you see that preview for 10 Cloverfield Lane?
Today we're talking about 13 Hours.
The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi.
Roll intro. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Nick.
And this is Flick of the Week.
Today we're talking about 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi.
It's the new big action movie by Michael Bay.
Isn't it more like a war movie?
It's a war movie. It's based on a true story. It's basically about the conflict in 2012 in Benghazi. And why is it so important?
It's important because this was more or less kind of a cover-up story. Back in 2012, we were told that protesters were attacking the U.S. Embassy, but really it was a terrorist attack, and these brave men had to go in there and try to save the U.S. ambassador, and then endure a firefight overnight, lasting 13 hours, I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. So who's in this movie? Let's talk about the actors. The Office is in this movie.
The whole Office.
Just about 3 actors from the Office. We had Jim, we had Roy, and that banker guy from that one episode.
Yeah.
There we go. There's Jim Halpert, John Krasinski with a beard and a 6-pack and a...
You know what?
Swatch.
That's a pretty nice swatch.
That's a nice swatch.
I just want to say, it seems vaguely familiar, this kind of, like, I remember a while back we worked on this movie.
Me and you did this.
Yeah, me and you. It was something.
We had this idea about...
It was kind of like war and in the office.
Overtime in the office, kind of?
Yeah, overtime. So, well, you know, let's
if
you want to see it, go ahead and
just
click this link right
there
here. This link right here.
That's it.
Moving on.
John Krasinski.
I want to say that I'm pretty sure this is his breakout role as like a major actor in a blockbuster movie. He's like the lead actor. He's been in other movies as a lead, but he's like a small indie movies
for sure. This is like that's why everybody was kind of thrown off by that. Like, is that the guy in the Office? Is that a 6-pack? Is that a beard? What's going on here? Hey,
he got ripped.
He's married to Emily Blunt. What? Anyway, but the beginning of this movie for me, I think he kind of fell flat.
Yeah.
It was almost like an episode of The Office. It was just very dry. They're in a car, kind of doing the intros to characters, opening up the movie.
I actually wanted to point out the first line. He gets in the car and he looks out the window away from his buddy, and they're both wearing sunglasses. He's like, "How's the team out here?"
Yeah,
it's like, seriously? That's the first line?
Again, it fell flat a little bit. But it picks up dramatically, more or less, no pun intended, and he gets into some of the best acting I've ever seen. It's kind of weird that it made such a... But maybe that's how it had to be.
John Krasinski may have been the lead, but the person who really shined was...
Not Jim Halpert.
It was James Badge Dale.
He's the best.
He did really good.
I think he is going to be pretty unattainable here pretty soon. I think this movie might be like... Okay, let's give him his own action movie. Let's put him in a superhero movie. Let's do something here.
He really carried the story as a true leader.
He is. You've seen him in Iron Man. You've seen him in Shame. Ghost Rider 2. Give him a break on that one. World War Z, though. He was pretty cool in that. And he played a team leader in that movie, too.
You know what's funny? I don't remember that movie.
You don't remember World War Z?
I don't remember it all. It's a testament to like how bad that movie was, in my opinion, because it totally is wiped from my memory.
I think, isn't that what happened? Like, they thought it was so bad that they like blew $20 million to reshoot the ending or something like that.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, I remember that it was a totally different ending. They're like, whoa, okay, let's do it again. And pretty much, like, if you get like polio, zombies don't want you. You're tainted meat, so they move along. So that's how you beat zombies, is you get AIDS.
Huh.
So... Because that's so easily beaten, too.
All right.
Anyway, back to 13 Hours.
Moving on!
Really happy that this movie happened, though, and I'm happy to see that in the interviews with the real guys behind this true story, they wrote the book together, they were in this conflict together. They seem to be happy about the pace of this film, the story, how it was depicted. to me that means a lot because, especially with like a war movie, it's a very touchy subject, and Michael Bay's kind of screwed that up before. So,
Evelyn, loving you kept me alive.
they're like, no love scenes, Michael Bay. No freaking crazy brothers that didn't exist. Okay? We're not going to do that. Kate Beckinsale, put her in the underworld, leave her alone.
Yeah.
Like, you know. What did you think about, let's call it the action?
Okay, yeah, I want to take this moment to talk about this movie in turn purely from the point of view of a cinematic movie. It's not talking about the true story or the actors or the difference, because I know that Nick has tons to talk about the delineation between what's real in military and what is in a movie. But I just want to say that this movie surprised me and distracted me enough that I forgot that I was at the movies, because I loved the sound design and I loved the way the action happened, and it wasn't too over the top with the sense of Bayhem in that, like super slow-mo big explosions. There was one huge explosion which I laughed and turned to you. I was like, what the fuck? And they're like, that was for us. And
the bus.
The bus,
Yeah.
That was massive, and the camera was tilted on its axis, all like, ridiculous.
Very Dawn of the Dead-ish
there. But it was, Michael Bay, I think he was taking some advice from people, and he toned down the Bayhem, but there was definitely hints of it, and he was even like making stereotypes of his own work in some of the shots. So
I thought it was a good story. The action behind it, I gotta say, for the most part, I didn't like. What the hell are those dumb fireworks doing in this firefight like half the time? You shouldn't make a war movie look cool. I don't like the style behind it. I think that there's a difference between violence and stylized violence, and this movie kind of had both. It felt like Transformers in some parts, and it even seemed like it was kind of on the same set at some points of Transformers 2.
There was definitely some points
when
like that.
the one mortar goes up and it turns down, it's the same scene from Pearl Harbor. What do you do? I was just waiting for someone to go like, let's roll. Like, come on.
Yeah.
It seemed, some of it just seemed too silly, unrealistic. But other parts were kind of spot on. So I don't know. I feel like people are going to be like one foot in each camp on that one.
Tell me this. Was it worth the ticket price?
This one was worth the ticket price.
Compared to other Michael Bay movies.
But I think if you were to like line up like quality of war films, you got like Saving Private Ryan. When you do that kind of stuff, it dilutes what's supposed to be fit. You're putting action over emotion. Mm-hmm. You should be showing the people like doing their little rendezvous and their coordination between each other as a team, instead of showing round bouncing off a wall, off a tree, into a building. Mm-hmm. There's no need for that.
Okay, I give it out of 10 stars, or what should we do? Do 10 stars? 5 stars?
5.
Out of 5 stars? I give it a 3 out of 5.
I'm gonna give it a 3, in the middle of the road.
Yeah, I give it a 3 in different points than you. I'd assume based on what we were talking about earlier.
Well, for me, like, that's almost neutral for me. It's not bad. It's not great. The story, though, I really appreciated that this film was made. Like, this is a very heroic and inspiring story. I would give that a 5. But again, like, I feel like I don't think Michael Bay was like the right director to give this to.
2 quick trivia things. Michael Bay's mom, begged and pleaded, told him, "Don't do this movie. You don't want that kind of rap."
I did hear that too.
And then the other thing is that one of the actors in the movie
is friends with
Michael Bay. He was, that's in the pirate show,
the Black Sails. He's friends with the real guy. Mm-hmm.
What's the guy, for reference? What's the real guy's name?
I can't remember which friend he was with. We can look that up.
But the name will be right here. Anyways, next week we're going to be talking about
Dirty Grandpa.
Dirty Grandpa. And if you like this episode, be sure to leave some comments below and leave us some love and share the shit out of it.
Do it.
And until then, Jack! Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you want to hear more about movie news, new movies, or movie trivia, click subscribe. And, see you next time on Flick of the Week.